I'm here with Michelle Escoffery. My name is Chimo Perez. Hello.
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 How are you doing?
I'm very good.
Good.
What do your friends think you do for work?
I have no idea. They definitely know I'm a songwriter, and they know that I advocate for songwriters. I think that's what they probably think I do for work.
And what's the difference?
What's the difference?
With reality?
Oh, not that much, I don't think.
They get it.
They get it, yeah. They don't know in detail what I do, but generally
They get the general idea.
They get the general idea, yeah.
Yeah. Because my friends have
no clue. Half the time, I have no clue what my friends do, not in any detail whatsoever.
Because then when you meet somebody and you see them at work, you go, "Oh my God, that's
that's what you did."
I didn't know that's what you did. Because my friends, like a very good friend of mine, Rafa, he came to a skills discovery workshop in Holland, and it was hilarious because it was a bunch of women from a community development project, like Muslims and this and that, and he participated, and he's like an engineer and a banker and this and that. He loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the women wanted to go to Cordoba to marry him. It was one of those really funny. And still, he says, "I don't know what you do." And I'm like, "But you've seen me work."
What I do. Yeah.
He thinks I do things, social things. He understands. Somehow they miss you being a doctor or a...
Yeah. Do you think it's because they want to know what you coach in or mentor in or teach specifically?
Yeah, because for them, if I was teaching at a university,
then it makes sense.
Then it's even if you don't know really what they do, they think they know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought you would get the same. That's why I was asking. I thought they would be a bit fuzzy.
I think that most people just see me as, oh, she's in the music industry. She's a songwriter. She sings.
Yeah.
I think really that's what they think.
Yeah.
Most people will say, oh, she does stuff in education. But I guess because of my position or the work that I've been doing with PRS, then it's more apparent, oh, okay, so you...
It's real industry.
Yeah, and you advocate for songwriters. That's partly what you do.
And what is the most important thing you do when you advocate? Because that's one that always when I'm doing the portfolio for Sector Express for Clock is the hardest one, even with people that, what is to advocate?
Oh,
and I'm
gosh,
like, well,
that's such a hard question.
To defend,
I know when I did Clock, I didn't think I advocated at all. I didn't even really...
Until you did Clock, yeah?
Yeah, and then you start to pull it out, and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't realise that was advocacy. How do I advocate for songwriters? I would say the main things I do is inform songwriters about their rights and also about the reality of being a songwriter or an artist in the industry and what that could potentially look like. Because I think that people glamorize the music industry, and it's half the time really not that glamorous, and it's a slog and it's a grind. And now, people don't really understand the day-to-day, and that especially now, I think, with the absence of artist development, you're expected to do everything to be your own marketeer, write, do all kinds of things until you get noticed, until you get that break. And it's really challenging. It's hard. It's hard for people to have the discipline and also the skill to promote themselves and be creative, write songs or sing songs or produce music.
If you put that in front of a young talent, they're like, where do I start? What is the most important thing? What am I doing? Because you give them all the things that they need to take care of.
Yep.
And their brand, and there's this. And that's a lot. Like, what?
It is a lot.
What's the priority? What is the thing, Because they want to know, how do I know I'm doing a good job?
And I think it's I think it's hard to know how you're doing a good job, to be honest. You know, people will say, well, you have to up your profile. I think I'm old school in that you have to have product. You know, the first thing that, even if you get noticed, the first question will be, well, what else do you have? How many songs have you got? You know, what are we promoting? So you have to, I call it having ammunition. You have to have enough bullets to actually really make that difference.
Because in that, my idea of the churning industry, the part that is kind of soul destroying for an artist, the way I perceive it is if anybody does something that is a bit successful, the industry says that. And only that.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm 21 and I'm exploring and I want to grow and do it. And they're like, no.
It's formulaic.
Very much.
Yeah. Find a formula, stick to it, because that's what we know has worked. However, most of the things that have been hugely successful have actually been denied initially. And it's been looked at as, this is crazy, this will never work. We don't even understand this sound, you know? And then it blows up. And then you want to have 100 other things that sound exactly like that, look exactly like that.
And if the next young artist looks a little bit like that person, they're like, do that this. Person, do this, because that, and they're like, well, she just did it, the other person. Why? Because that resonates so much with film industry. Because for me, what I find really toxic is that then the producers, you know, exec producers and the companies, they start to incorporate their own biases and their own shit, and they're like, oh, there's no movies with only 2 female leads you can't have a male black lead in a movie that's successful. You can't have, and they apply all this, and you're like, who says that?
All these
like
biases.
And because once they think it's really a formulas and that's their craft, history tells us it's people that do things that at first you think this doesn't work. And the same with issues and with what we want art to be for.
Yeah. To push the boundaries.
But the part of me that wants things, that has values, that has drive, wants also to challenge what's wrong and what needs to... No,
And then, you know, it actually changes what you do and what the attraction was to you in the first place, to your art, to your craft, to your skill. It actually changes it. And then what happens a lot is that the major industry will then say, oh, this doesn't work. It didn't work. No, because you changed it. You watered it down. You know, distorted what you saw that you loved. You actually distorted it. So that's why it didn't work.
And that's what I admire in really good creative directors. They manage to not lose that essence and that power and that raw, strong message and strong visuals. And you know, in video, the editing is where you cut something that you were attracted because of the energy it had, the soul and the power.
Yeah.
And then you went, now I'm going to take all this.
Take it all out. Put this in.
And I wanted to ask you, from the list that you made of the issues that are right now in the music industry.
Oh, yeah. I think the thing that I am most kind of engaged with still is this idea around development, talent development, artist development, and what is that? What does that entail? Why is it important? Because the current model is you develop yourself, and when you hit a critical mass or a tipping point, then that's when the industry gets involved. That's when they go, oh, okay, you've got this amount of followers, and it's all based on numeracy, on logistics, on analytics, rather than your raw talent. And I see that as a huge problem. Number one, because Without development, it's very difficult to have longevity. Sometimes you're not recognizing that thing that you do that resonates with people, that has so much power. You miss it completely. Artists are being noticed, but they don't have the, for want of a better word, training to actually now meet that opportunity. So you've put your record, you've put something up on TikTok, it's gone completely viral. Everyone wants to know who you are, but you're a bedroom producer or bedroom artist. That's what you know. So now they want you to do showcases. They want you to do gigs. You've not been in front of more than 5 people. Now you're in front of 100, or you're in front of a few thousand, and you're not prepared. When I was an artist in the early 90s, you didn't record an album until you had totally thrashed it out live. You could be doing gigs for a year to hone that skill. And these are gigs where, you're in a little dusty club, and as soon as you open your mouth, everybody walks to the bar. They're not interested. They don't want to hear your music. And it's like, shit. And you have to find ways to engage that audience. And it's very clear, okay, yeah, this song works, or this part of this song, everyone's engaged, and then they dropped off at this point, we need to tweak that. Or this song really doesn't work, it falls completely flat with this audience. Okay, so it's not as great as we thought it was. We don't really have those opportunities like that anymore, which then it doesn't prepare you, because it's recorded, you think it's great, and then you go to do it live and it doesn't resonate, it doesn't pick up at all. And then, as you said earlier, that could be the end of your career. Especially now with social media, everybody's got a camera in front of you, and it's like, that was a complete flop, they're shit. And that's all people see of you. So that lack of development is a huge, 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 huge thing.
Songs reshape themselves.
Yeah.
And things happen that songs that you think are not going to be anything, they
become huge.
How many times artists fail to identify their hit?
Exactly.
And then it becomes a hit, and they're like, I can't believe this one.
So I truly believe that process is missing. And that's loud.